Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. This is Lada from astrolada.com, and I'm live today here with one of your favorite astrologers, Marina. Hello, Marina.
Hi, Lada.
Thank you for staying up late for us.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, many more times.
Oh,
And we're talking about a great astrological topic today. We're talking about the 12 secrets of the Zodiac Signs, or the 12 phases of the Zodiac Signs. And this is information that I haven't found anywhere else on the internet that we're going to talk about. Maybe it's somewhere, but we'll reveal to you, Marina will reveal to you some secrets. And I want to mention that actually Marina has written an ebook, which is $20, that speaks in depth about this. And if you order it, we'll send it to you. We'll send it to you over the internet. And everything we talk about today, it's in that book. We can't mention, of course, everything today. And also, I teach very similar material in my 12 astrological, the foundation course of astrology, the 12 signs, which is 6 months. And those of you who order it after the 14th of May, it will come with the book, together with the book, because the prices goes a bit higher. And let's start. This is such a fascinating topic, Marina. You have the word.
Yeah, great. Well, actually, I think that this is a very important topic, and that's why probably both of us had this idea at the same time.
It's crazy. Yeah,
yeah.
It's crazy.
This is a synchrony, actually. Yeah, we didn't talk about it previously. You had this idea, then I said, yeah. But the point is that this is a very important topic. This is an advanced astrology. So our idea is actually to be able to understand the nature of the signs in depth. So how each of the signs can react in different situations, what can be the circumstances in different life areas, and which are the best strategies for each sign in order to succeed in different life areas.
Exactly.
So actually the ebook contains two major points, let's say that. So first, we analyze the strength of the planets in each sign. So for example, let's say you're an Aries, so is Venus strong in Aries, is Mars strong in Aries, and actually we evaluate the strength of the planets from 0 to 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
And according to that, our idea is actually to understand how the qualities and the strength of a certain planet affect the qualities of the sign. So what does it mean for Aries that Venus is very weak in Aries? So that's a very interesting approach. And as I said, the main idea is to go in depth and to understand the true essence of each astrological sign.
Instead of having to learn everything by heart, what Venus does in Aries or what Mars does in Virgo, and you understand it based on the logic behind it.
Exactly, yeah.
So you don't need to learn everything, you logically can connect.
Exactly, to understand the deep meaning, because sometimes, we are all interested, of course, in making predictions. We want to learn everything at the same time, but very often, especially if you're not a professional astrologer yet, you can get lost in all of this information, especially if you try immediately to make predictions. And the reason for that is that actually you can't make an accurate prediction if you haven't analyzed the birth chart, if you don't know what you can expect to happen. So that's why we start from here. We need to understand each of the signs and the horoscope. So as I said, the first part is about analyzing the strength or the weakness of each planet in each sign. And after that, actually, we use the meta zodiac. So if you don't know what a meta zodiac is, actually, this is what all of the astrologers base their predictions on. So
without knowing it, by the way. And
Yes.
I think that we both had this idea because it's time for it to come out. Because
Yes.
it's not out there, and when an idea is ready, God sends it to different people at the same time.
Yes, exactly. Actually, this is very simple. If you know, of course, you know your sun sign, and if you know also your ascendant sign, well, this is the first house for you. Then the next house, the next sign rules your second house, the sign after that your third house, and they go one after another. So it's very easy. In the ebook, there are infographics where you can find on a picture which sign rules a certain house, and you can immediately, you can either actually with time you remember that, but you don't actually have to do that. You can check that anytime you want. So according to that, actually the basic idea of that is that we are all connected. So everything, each small part, contains the whole in itself. So you're an Aries and I'm a Capricorn, but in certain in certain area of your life, you can act like a Capricorn, or there might be some kind of Capricorn circumstances in your life.
Yeah, and for me, even the 12th house from my ascendant. So
yes,
it doesn't get to manifest much.
Yes, but it affects us on certain level. Each of the signs affect us, and that's why it is important to understand. Because, for example, let's say, well, now we have Mercury retrograde recently and Venus in Aries, and for example, I don't have planets in Aries, my ascendant is not in Aries, but it doesn't mean that it won't affect me. It will affect a certain area of my life, and actually through this ebook we are going to explain how to understand which area of your life will be affected by this concrete sign. And that's why actually everything matters. So maybe now we can say, if you want, a few words about each of the houses, because in some way they are more popular with their material interpretation, so it's more practical. But from a psychological point of view, from the personal point of view, there might be some kind of specifics. So maybe we can say, we can start with that. And actually, something important to say as well is that the ebook comes with bonuses. And there is a 3-day free email course about basic astrology. So as we said, this is a very advanced topic for almost professional astrologers, but we want to make it understandable for every person. So even if you haven't learned astrology, if you are a total beginner, we provide the information that actually can help you to understand the ebook. So by ordering the ebook, actually you get also that free email course included.
And you explained the houses.
Yes. So yes, actually in the email course, there are 3 major topics. So the first one is related with the astrological elements. Then we have the planets, and finally the houses. And actually the astrological elements, they put the foundation of everything. They are extremely important. Very often people can neglect that, may not pay so much attention, but if you really go in depth in try to understand the meaning of the astrological elements, it will help you very much to understand a lot of other things. Because there are typical qualities. Each of the elements is related with typical qualities. Some of them are introverted, others are extroverted. They can be also analyzed from a psychological point of view, if they're choleric or melancholic signs, which of them are active. So all of this information is included in the free basic astrology course, and it will help you to understand everything else.
Yeah, because people, when they watch the videos and they're like, I don't understand, what's this Venus in Taurus, in 5th house, like they don't, it's obviously there's lots of information, but it's if you learn just the signs, that's what the book teaches and what my course and the meaning of the planet, start making sense already.
Yes, yes. You will be able to understand, the meaning of each sign, and the planets, because everything is connected. And that was my idea, actually, to try to make it, systematic. So even if you feel lost, if you have already, read a lot of information, or you're just starting, we want to make it easier for people to go in depth, to understand. First of all, you can understand yourself better. You can understand your life. You can improve, the way if you have already started, for example, to watch the transits, what's happening right now, what to expect. It will also help you to understand these processes better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
people are saying there is echo. Do you have
oh,
a
really?
earphone or something?
Oh, yeah.
Just a second. Let me try. Let's see if people can still hear us.
How can you see the comments?
I'll send you a link. There is a link to the live chat, but I can't send you because my Skype is not working.
Well, I don't see the chat. Is it better now?
Guys, can you hear me now? Let me write down.
Is it better?
Can you hear me better now? I hear you great, but let's see if the others hear my echo. No more. Well, people are still not answering, but yeah, just yes, they hear me better. Yes, perfect.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, we start with the astrological elements, and it's made really simple. So you get something like a worksheet where everything is written down. It's very simple. At the same time, there is a short video where you can also listen to that. And my advice is, even if you have heard a lot, listened a lot, read a lot, it won't harm you, and actually it can be very useful for you to hear that as well, because sometimes, there might be a small detail that you haven't known about, and it can change your perspective. So my advice is to go through that, even if you think that basic astrology is already easy for you. So we start with the astrological elements, then we have the planets. So we analyze the basic qualities related with each planet. And, if you remember just some keywords about each planet, you will be able to understand much more when we talk about the astrological signs. So you don't have to read tons of books and listen to, 100 videos. If you remember just some keywords, it can really help you after that. And finally, we talk about the houses, because actually the houses are related with concrete areas of our life. So we have a house related with finances, with relationships. I think that most of the people that are watching are aware of that, but we put a different perspective about the different houses. So, we try to make it more in-depth, especially from a psychological point of view.
Mm-hmm. Can you give us some examples so people can understand what we're talking about?
Sure, yeah. Maybe we can say first a few words about the houses. So first house, or your sign, your sun sign, your ascendant sign, actually, it shows the type of activity. Is it, dynamic? Is it very inert? Can you change it fast? The type of activeness. These are the keywords for first house. Then we have second house. This is about most of us know that this is about finances, but it is also related with our energy. So which are the sources of energy that can charge this person? And what is the energetical level? So does he waste his energy, or he stores it? Can he recharge his energetical balance fast? All of this stuff we can understand from the sign in second house.
It also rules food, what food we eat. This is our fuel, our energy, and it has a lot to do with whether you put on weight or no. Because it's how you store that energy, basically. This is how you store anything that supports your life. That's why it rules money. because money supports, that's the energy we use nowadays.
Exactly. Energy and resources, these are the basic, the key words for second house. And third house is about your communication, but, you know, on a daily basis. So how you make the first contact with someone, how you meet with people. Are you, you know, do you start easily conversations with others, or you prefer to stay more isolated? This is third house. Then fourth house, the traditional interpretation is related with family and home, which is true. But also from a more psychological point of view, fourth house shows the foundation of the person. What is he on the inside? You know, what makes him feel secure and stable in life? So this puts a very interesting perspective, especially when you go through the signs and see which is the sign in fourth house. You will understand what is the person relying on, what makes him feel stable.
In Vedic astrology, it rules also your sense of happiness, because it depends on how emotionally stable you are, kind of. That's
exactly, yeah. How stable you are, in my opinion, we can understand from fourth house and 12th house. These are the houses related with our, you know, psychology, inner world. Are you influenced on a psychological level, how stable you are? And you can get a very interesting perspective when you go through the signs. We are going to give some examples, but just to finish with the houses before that. So next we have fifth house. So fifth house is about what you want deep with your heart. You know, what are your most sincere personal desires? What can make you feel happy and satisfied in life in general, and how you see yourself. So it's about your ego, about your perspective about yourself. Next we have sixth house, which is about it's about responsibilities, about your work environment, how you are, you know, how you communicate with work associates and the hierarchic system. So people who are higher or under in the hierarchic system, how you can communicate with these people. And next we have seventh house, which is very popular because this is the house of relationships. We are all interested in that. And from seventh house, we can understand how the person communicates closely with others. Is he initiative, or he's more passive? What is his attitude towards his partners? So that's very interesting, important life area.
And it's funny enough, whatever your attitude towards your partner is, and whatever you feel even subconsciously, this is what you get as the universe reflects the seventh house to you through the kind of relationships you attract. So it's actually, it's not the people that if you keep having relationships that are unsupportive, that their fault. It's how you perceive the other, basically.
Yes.
You have maybe some you know, some subconscious complexes, or that you see others as enemies, or as there to get things from you, and you'd react like that. You know, you attract exactly those kind of people.
Yes, you know, this is a little bit more a psychological you know, idea, but I think it's very important, and astrology is all about that. One of the most important things is to take responsibility for your life. So it's difficult, it takes time. You know, we all fall in situations when we blame the fate, people, or whatever it is. But the truth is that everything is related with us, and we have, you know, this is our responsibility.
Especially if something keeps repeating over and over and over. Sometimes something can come out of the blue that never happened before, and it's not a pattern. Those things can be kind of fated sometimes. But if you say, like, I've never dated, I've never had a relationship, or I always attract men who cheat on me, or I always get fired from my work, okay, it's happened for the fourth time, it's in your horoscope, it's a pattern, and you can take control over it, you know.
Yes.
You're not fated to be stuck there.
Exactly.
If you get like hit by a car, it's not your responsibility. That's a one time thing that can happen, you know, that for everyone can happen. But Certain events, and most of the events in life are reflection of what we subconsciously, what our attitude to that area of our life is.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, this is something very positive, because if you accept that responsibility, you take your personal power in yourself, because otherwise you say, well, it doesn't depend on me, I can do nothing about it, and you feel helpless. But if you take the responsibility, you understand that you can change, you can work with all of this stuff, because there are different levels how you can experience something. It's a different topic, and we can talk
It's
a
a
lot.
long path as well.
Yes,
How
yes.
you can, with Neptune in the seventh, either you get lied on all the time, or you attract a partner who is a musician, or artistic, or soulmate. That's the higher manifestation. Or the lower, you totally swindled by partners. So
just a little bit about this topic, and then we are going back to the houses. But because it's so interesting, each of the planets, everything in astrology, can influence us on 3 levels. So we have a material level, then we have an emotional level, and a mental level. And if something, for example, Uranus, it can destroy something on a material level if you are using it only for something material and, not for inspiration or to make some kind of personal change. On a material level, Uranus has a destructive influence. But if you try to evolve, to grow emotionally, and to become more conscious, then it can influence you on an emotional level. So again, it can be related with some kind of emotional crisis or separations, but you need to go through that. There is no other way. So you have to experience it. But if it's on an emotional level, for example, it won't destroy your life, you won't lose your house or whatever it is. It will just influence you emotionally. And finally, we have the mental level. So for the most, really conscious people who work on themselves, who try to, improve on every level, well, they can experience that only on a mental level. So this can be like a totally new ideas if we are
talking about Uranus.
The same example. So with Uranus, it can be, well, you can change totally your worldview, you can be enlightened or whatever it is, but it's only on a mental level.
So you kind of prevent the negative. For me, it happened on all the levels sometimes.
Yes, well, yes, it's possible, but with the more work and the more conscious we are, we can learn to use these transits or whatever it is, progressions and all the other methods in our benefit.
Yeah, or you can, knowing, say, you're going to have Uranus, instead of resisting change, embracing it, and you initiate it, and then instead of it hitting you from outside, like you're, like being fired or something, you've taken the initiative. You started looking, because you feel the urge first. If you're more conscious, you feel the urge on emotional and mental level, and if you start responding, it means being responsive to your intuitive side and to the cues that the universe sends you through your emotions and through your mind, what you notice. Then you don't have to be shocked, and your life doesn't have to be destroyed. You feel empowered, and you say, I made those changes. I left the partner. I looked for a new job. Otherwise, if you just sit and don't want the change, Uranus will come and shock you with a surprise enema. Sorry for the expression.
Yeah, exactly. But just to go back to the previous topic, because so next we have 8th house, which is very interesting. So first of all, it's related with resources of other people, including money and all kind of material support, but also it's related with our ability to connect with others energetically. So the sign in 8th house can show us if the person is sensitive, if he's vulnerable, and can be influenced from negative energy of other people. The exchange of energy goes on 6th house. And this is also the house related with crisis. Critical situations, the biggest challenges, and transformational processes, they are related with 8th house. So by analyzing the sign, we can understand, for example, what is the best strategy for the person to go through this crisis, what he needs to do, and is he strong in these cases, or he gives up. All of these stuff are related with 8th house.
Who would have hard time going through transformations?
For example, Leo.
Oh, the Pisces.
Yeah, and that's why I say that this theory can show you, this concept will make you look on the signs from a totally different perspective, because we know Leo are very confident on the outside. They're so enthusiastic, happy, they can enjoy life, and everything looks perfect on the outside. It doesn't mean that it's not, but in certain situations they're not so confident. And when it comes to a really serious critical situations, when there is a danger, they feel really scared, they may totally give up, because they have Pisces in their 8th house. And Pisces is such a vulnerable sign. It's not active. It's related with some kind of confusions possible, with some kind of you can feel scared, or you may not know what to do. So that's why for Leo, when they're in a critical situations, they may not be like good risk managers or something like that. They are not good in these cases. And if we try to understand what's the best strategy for them, again, we need to analyze Pisces. So it means that in critical situations, first of all, they should rely on their intuition, which is related with the water nature of Pisces. So they shouldn't try to analyze everything with their mind and plan everything and try to be totally reasonable in everything they do. Instead, they should stay calm for a while. They should stay relaxed. They shouldn't hurry too much, because otherwise they're going to get totally messed up. They should rely on the intuition. And of course, there might be different options here. For example, everything spiritual, or trying to support other people, for example, because Pisces is related with helping others, making some kind of sacrifice, or being empathic with others. So if you try to do that, it can help you to go to get out of the critical situation, or this challenge that you.
Or 8th house would be like someone passes away and you're in trauma, and you're the big crisis in life, divorces, even birth and death, birth of children and death, and they need to have the Piscean approach, basically. Go start painting, sing to yourself, listen to calming music as well.
And for example, with I hear the echo right now. Do you hear it?
No.
It's better now. Okay. So Pisces in 8th house also means that Leo can be influenced on an energetical level from others, and they should be careful who they are surrounded by, because others may, and this influence is there really on an invisible level. So it doesn't mean that somebody will go and literally do something to you, but if he has a negative energy, or he's going through lots of difficulties, you can accept this energy if you're a Leo, of course, and it can influence you personally. So by analyzing the sign on the cusp of 8th house, actually we can understand all of these life circumstances. Yes. The 9th house is related with our goals. So this is related with our perspective for the future and what we want to achieve. So the basic word is about goals. What are your goals?
Your vision for the future.
Yeah, exactly. And 10th house. So actually, I think that 4th and 10th house are one of the most interesting houses, because 4th house, we said that it shows the true inner foundation for the person, but sometimes it might be invisible for others. And 10th house, on the other hand, is what you make visible for everyone else. So it's like your social mask that you're wearing in front of others, how you would like others to see you when you're in public, and the impression that you would like to others to have for you. So this is all related with 10th house, and this is the outer form of your behavior. So this is really on a material level how things are happening and how you are behaving.
So your Facebook profile.
Oh, of course, definitely. That's 10th house.
Unless you're very honest there, or unless, yeah, or you'll be definitely playing out your 10th house, you know.
Yeah, that's your public face.
Yes, because yeah, when I think about it, I'm very different on Facebook than in real life. I show as an Aries this Capricorn side, which is much more reserved, and you know, everything is under control. And
Yeah.
anyway,
and also from 10th house, we can understand the circumstances around the career of the person, you know. For example, like you said, you have Capricorn in 10th house. Well, it suggests that in terms of your career, you should be very patient. You know, every areas should be very patient, because the place where you have Capricorn in the horoscope shows an area where you have to put a lot of efforts in order to succeed. You know, success doesn't come overnight, or if it comes overnight, it means that before that you have put a lot of efforts. You know, that's the difference. And yeah, and Capricorn in 10th house means that Aries can look very stable on the outside. You know, they want to look strong. Their desire to be leaders is also related with that. Their ability actually to manage other people, to control, even to create some kind of structures around them, or related with career. These qualities are all related with Capricorn in 10th house.
that's amazing how it explains why we think Aries are always successful in business, and mostly, very often, they'll break through, and it's thanks to the Capricorn which rules their 10th house, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, or if we say Cancers, we might think Cancers are soft and weak, but Cancers have Aries on the 10th house. So
Yes,
they would put
exactly.
a lot of energy into work. They would put so much to create their social status. And for them, it might even happen fast, because Aries is a fast sign. And circumstances can change very fast as well. So it's like, and we know how we talk about Cancers, oh, they're very tough. On the outside, you know, we might think they're very tough, you know, they have this shell, but I think it does come also from, and also they have, you know, anyway, sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, no, of course, I agree with.
You can talk about Cancers more.
Yes, and for Cancer, we have actually very interesting examples, because first of all, what you said, Aries in 10th house, well, as we said, 10th house is related with the outer form of expression, so how the person behaves when he's, you know, in public, or for other people watching from the outside. And we know that Aries is a very dynamic sign. It's related with possible, you know, need to make constant changes, you know, always changing something, making something new. And that's why, you know, Cancer, they're very, for example, their moods can change very quickly. They can look very unstable from the outside. Their behavior changes, their masks, you know, of course, it's related with the moods and the emotionality, but Aries in 10th house is one of the major reasons.
It directly impacts their actions, what they do.
Yes.
Because you might be moody but not do anything, but Cancers, moodiness will put them into action to do something, like Aries, which is public, which others will see.
Yes, and especially for Cancer, something interesting. For example, Cancer, they can have a very, you know, interesting way of loving others. You know, this is one of my favorite examples, but that's why, because when I first learned about this theory and this concrete example, I was really shocked, and wow, that explains so much. And actually, the fact is, Cancer have Scorpio in 5th house. So that's why they can, you know, this drama is everywhere around them. And of course, I don't want
to love.
Of course, yeah. And, you know, I'm also a Cancer ascendant, and I don't want to insult anyone, but, you know, Cancer love drama. You know, they really like to, you know, exaggerate, dramatize. They like this deep emotional connection when they're in love. They want to possess the person. They want him to belong to them. And the reason is that they have this Scorpio in 5th house. And Scorpio is the sign, you know, that that's related with drama, with some kind of painful experiences.
Black and white. It's never, you can never be in the middle. Yeah.
Yes, and that's why we understand why love can be so complicated for Cancer. The other reason they have Capricorn in in the 7th house. Well, you know, these are the 2 houses related with love.
And they're the 2 most difficult signs, Scorpio and Capricorn.
Exactly.
That Cancers have in their love houses or relationship houses.
Exactly. So we can understand that Cancer need to learn to be, first of all, patient in this area. They shouldn't press people too much. And they need to realize that not everyone can handle all of this drama. You know, people are different. And by knowing yourself better, you know, you can improve your relationship with others because you can see your personal patterns. And sometimes they're not very, you know, adequate to reality. Mm-hmm. So that's one very interesting example. And if we go back to the first part that we talked, that includes the ebook, which is about the strength of the planets. For example, with Cancer, it is very interesting. Well, you know how easily Cancer can get insulted by others. You know, you can say something and they can accept it in the worst possible way. Like you're always... Yeah, I know it from myself, and I have seen it so often that Cancer, they're very sensitive, they can get insulted too easily. So one of the reasons is they have a very strong moon. So the moon rules the sign, which means they are extremely sensitive. And the other reason is that they have a very strong Jupiter. So Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. It has 5 out of 6 points.
Yeah.
So the strong Jupiter means that on the, you know, on the inside, Cancer have a, you know, high self-esteem. You know, they can't accept others to tell them something bad, and they can take it very personally because of that. And you know, this strong Jupiter can be related with a very sensitive ego. So that's why they can be very you know, expect that you're trying to say something bad to them, or, you know, can take it in a little bit in a worse way than actually people are acting.
With an inflated ego, of course.
Yeah.
It all comes, overreaction to everything comes from inflated ego, or too sensitive ego, basically. The issues there, either too much, too little.
Yes.
This is fascinating. Give us more examples. I think people want to hear about a little bit about each sign. A little bit.
Yeah, just to finish the last two houses, just to mention. So 11th house we have left, which is about our ideals. So what you value, what is, you know, your the best ideals for you in life. Sometimes this might be an area that, for example, you can exaggerate a little bit, you can make it more important than it is, but you know, these are your most sincere ideals. And 11th house is also related with the changes. So what can provoke the person to make a change? It comes from the connection with Uranus and Aquarius, which are, you know, the planet and the sign related with changes. So in 11th house, we can see, for example, if you want your partner to change in some way, well, you need to find his 11th house and the sign there, and you will understand what is, which is the best approach. So do you need to be more caring and emotional with him, or you need to be more reasonable, explaining, you know, some facts and all of these things. And you can understand how you can convince him to make some kind of change.
Wow, I never thought of the 11th house like that. That's very interesting. It looked like, even I, listening now, something is making like a light bulb around my head. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Yes, yeah. That's why I think that this is so valuable, because even if people have, you know, read, learned, listened to lots of information, there is always something new, and even some small detail can, you know, can make you look from a different perspective, and you can learn how to understand lots of other things after that, even without hurting them, you know, very concrete. So 11th house, changes and ideals. And finally, 12th house. This is also one of the most interesting houses because this is related with the motivation of the person. So by understanding the sign in 12th house, you can understand what can provoke the person, what can boost the sign in first house. We are going to give some examples, but just remember that 12th house is related with the motivation of the person.
And it's kind of almost subconscious motivation.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Again, one of the most interesting examples that I have remembered is related with Aries. So Aries have Pisces in their 12th house. And we know Pisces is related with things that actually you can define very well. They're not material, they're not objective, they're not rational. They can come from the unconscious. And that's why, of course, we all know Aries, they're so dynamic. They start lots of things, do many things at the same time. But this impulse, where is it coming from?
Even they don't know.
Even they don't know, because they have Pisces in 12th house. And, you can explain that energy. You're just feeling that. So that's so interesting. And it can show you what's important for the person and what can provoke him to take actions.
Wow, that's another phase of the house that like the 11th and the 12th. That's very interesting. The psychological side that can help so much, because many people come for an advice to how can I motivate myself. They don't even want you to tell them, oh, this year you'll meet someone. They say I have the great ideas and everything. I just can't find the motivation. Wow. So
yeah, another interesting example about 12th house. Let's take Aquarius. So Aquarius in first house, I mean. We know that one of the most typical things for Aquarius are related with their desire to change, even to destroy the order and to create their own order, their own structures, and to make everything differently. But they have Capricorn in 12th house. So the idea is that if you want to make a change, if you want to restructure something, before that you need something already created, which is Capricorn. Capricorn is related with the foundations, with something stable, with order, and even with rules. So this is the atmosphere. So if you put Aquarius in a totally free atmosphere where there are no rules, no structures, nothing is forbidden, they can become a little bit inert, because they're not motivated. Well,
but they need to destroy the old order. That's what will motivate them. That's why Saturn is.
If you put them in a Capricorn circumstances, well, there is something very old and conservative.
Restrictions.
Yes, this is the atmosphere that can motivate them. And, it helps us to understand different life areas for each of the signs and how they act and what are the circumstances, what are the strategies they can use.
Amazing. I'll be giving information like that, but on a according to more different, I have a different view. You just gave amazing psychological view as well, that I'm looking forward to read your book as well. And as we said, everyone who gets after the 14th of May gets that book for free, who comes on the course.
Yeah, and actually that's why I think that both of the things are really important and valuable, because we have a different perspective and people can learn a lot of things, because this is on the same topic and you get it from two different sources.
Yes. Absolutely.
So if you want to learn about the astrological signs, if you want to understand yourself better, and actually this is to understand astrology, so this can really help you to go on a really high and advanced level,
and on an amazing self-discovery journey.
Yeah.
Would you tell us some fun facts about different signs according to this system? We talked about Aries, for example. Maybe for Taurus, we can say something for a little bit for each sign.
I remembered something else very important. Another perspective of this concept is, for example, every sign has certain meaning. For example, Leo as a sign is related with where you can experience joy, what can bring you satisfaction. So if someone wants to experience more joy in their life, they need to find where they have Leo in the horoscope. This is the area that can show you, you know, what can make you feel happy. And for example, with Taurus, they have Leo in 4th house, and that's why they're so, you know, family and home are so important to them. This is the area where they can, you know, put lots of energy and efforts, not in a negative way, but more like attention. So Leo is the sign which can show you where you can experience joy and happiness. And on the other hand, Sagittarius as a sign can show you where you can be successful, what can bring you success, what makes you feel satisfied and successful in life. And yeah, for example, with Cancer, they have Sagittarius in 6th house. And we mentioned that 6th house is about responsibilities and actually taking care of others. That's why Cancer can be so caring and supportive with others. Through these activities, they feel like they're being useful and helpful, and they feel successful, like they have succeeded, you know, like this explains why they feel so satisfied from this. So Sagittarius is the area where you can feel like you are able to grow, you're able to, you know, be successful, and there are different opportunities there for you.
Yes, things come easier there.
Yes.
Cool. I think Scorpios have Sagittarius in the 2nd house. Money, for example.
Yeah. Yes, they want, you know, to collect more, to you know,
and they will have opportunities.
Yeah. And they work very well with finances. You know, Scorpio is one of the signs related with finances and money and managing money, earning money.
It comes through Jupiter ruling the 2nd house, being lucky to money.
Yeah, so they are just good in this area. They can be successful. They can have opportunities. That's where it comes from. So that's why I said that you can understand a lot why things are happening in certain way for each of the signs, and there are certain patterns, and by knowing that, you know, you can really start to manage your life better.
Yes. Well, what about where Scorpio is?
Oh, Scorpio, of course, this is the other really interesting topic. Well, Scorpio is about the critical situations. Scorpio is the sign that will show you where you need to transform something, but in most of the cases, it can be related with some kind of painful experiences.
First destroying it, and then...
Yeah, so as we said, Cancer, for example, they have Scorpio in 5th house. That's why they may go through some painful love relationships. Or, for example, Taurus, they have Scorpio in 7th house. That's why, you know, they can attract partners who are, you know, very, again, they love drama. There's some kind of pain. There is, you know, something that transforms you very deeply.
Oh, yeah. One of my best friends is Taurus, and we're daily on the phone about deep relationship experiences. And she's like, I'm such an easygoing, reliable person. Why are relationships such crazy area for my life? And it tends to be with our biggest transformation happens with Scorpio. So for Taurus, it's relationships. I guess for Virgos, where would Scorpio be? Would be the 3rd house.
For Virgo, yeah, Scorpio is in 3rd house. No.
Yeah.
Just a second. Virgo. Yeah, Scorpio is in 3rd house. Yeah, that's why they have such a good analytical mind. You know, they're able to go in depth when they learn something. On the other hand, their criticizing manner, you know, when they are communicating with someone. This is all related with Scorpio in 3rd house.
So the criticizing energy, a lot of the criticizing energy of Virgo does not come from their Virgoishness, pickiness. Yes. It comes from, and that's why they can come up a bit offensive sometimes when they speak to people, their communication style being scorpionic, penetrating, no nonsense, going to the bottom of it, even stinging you somehow. That's amazing information, guys. Are you listening to that? This is so useful. So basically Virgos are like that because of their Scorpion side.
Absolutely. Yeah, Scorpio can show you where you can face with some kind of serious challenges in your life, but also where you can have power and control. For example, Aquarius, they have Scorpio in their 10th house. So it suggests that in their career, with their social behavior, they are able to affect many people. You know, Scorpio can give you this this potential to be very magnetic, you know, to control others in different ways. So that's why Aquarius can influence so many people.
Sorry, you said Aquarius? So,
Aquarius,
okay.
because
For
they have
Aquarius ascendant or sun, they have Scorpio on the
Scorpio in 10th house. Yeah, and it makes them in their social appearances, or when they're in public, when in their career, they can influence many people because of this Scorpio in 10th house.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm loving this information, guys. I don't know if you're following here, but
yeah, and something interesting and very simple is actually to start with the qualities of the sign. So what's the modality of the sign? Is it cardinal, fixed, or mutable? Because it will show you how fast things are going to change in this area of your life. For example, the place where you have in your horoscope Taurus is an area where things don't come easy and they don't go easy. So, for example, Scorpio, they have Taurus in 7th house. That's why in terms of relationships, it takes a lot of time for them to allow somebody to get close to them. And after that, if they go through some kind of disappointment or separation, they can't forget the other person because of this fixed earth energy that Taurus has in their 7th house. So even starting from this perspective, the modality and you know, the element of the sign, you can understand so much. And we know we have signs which are active and extroverted, and these are areas of your life where you should put personal efforts if you want to succeed. And there are signs which are introverted and passive. So in these areas of your life, you should wait for the right circumstances to come up. You know, other people will find you, opportunities will find you.
And that's what we might find as Western society, people that live in a Western society, that we're told that we always should be the one doing the things. Those houses, we might find them hard. Can you give us an example? For example, how some signs have to be passive while we're being taught, you know, you have to go after that, and you know.
Yeah, well, for example, the earth signs, they all have in 7th house water sign. So it means that's why when they can't connect very you know, easily and fast with another person because of the earth sign in their 7th house. So it means that they're more passive.
The earth sign or the water sign in the 7th house?
Well, both actually. These are the, you know, the signs which, the water and the earth signs, they are passive and introverted. So if you have water sign in 1st house, it means that you have earth sign in 7th house, and the opposite as well. So if you have earth in 1st, you have water in 7th house. In both of the cases, these people are not so initiative, you know, they can't, they shouldn't start the communication first. They prefer if other people come to them, if other people offer them something. That's the right strategy for them. And on the other hand, if you are, for example, a fire, if your sign is fire, 1st house, so it means that you have air sign in 7th house. That's why, you know, the fire signs, they can communicate so easily with others. The air sign in 7th house helps them, you know, to start the conversations, to meet with new people, you know, to start conversations.
It's so communicative, the air,
Yeah, it helps them to be communicative.
What if you have air sign on the ascendant, like Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini?
Well, then they have a fire sign in 7th house. Again, the fire element is related with activeness. So we understand why when they get, you know, when they communicate with another person, they can start, the impulse can come from them, because, you know, they have the fire sign in 7th house. So there is the impulse, there is the, you know, the energy is very active and dynamic.
It comes from the person, basically.
Yeah.
So that their strategy would be to initiate. But if you say Virgo ascendant, you tell them for you it's better for the right circumstances to be there and to allow the universe to bring it to you if you want to meet the right person.
Yeah, Virgo, they have Pisces in 7th house, and that's why they can be so supportive with others. They might be always willing to help, ready to help. And Pisces sometimes can bring some kind of guilt. That's why Virgo, in terms of relationships or with partners, on an unconscious level, they may feel like they're always guilty. They're not doing enough, or, you know, something.
Oh, that they have to save you. That was a previous relationship when my partner was Virgo rising, and Pisces on his 7th house. He saw me as a victim, was weak, and he tried to save me constantly. And at the end, I started acting as a victim and weak, because it just, the more you project onto someone, I was like, I'm an Aries, why am I acting like this? You know, but your partner with the 7th house brings out the sign of the 7th house out from you. Anyway, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, no, that was exactly what I was saying. So this can be your starting point to analyze the modality and the element of the sign, and it will show you a lot about the circumstances and how the person can act in this area of his life.
Wonderful. This is such wonderful information.
For example, if we take Scorpio, they have Capricorn in 3rd house. So Capricorn is a sign related with some kind of, you know, boundaries. It's related with some kind of closeness. These people are not, you know, as a sign Capricorn. So Scorpio having Capricorn in 3rd house, it suggests that when they communicate with others, you know, they can be more suspicious. That's where it comes from. Yeah, and
controlling their speech and what they say, watching carefully. So it doesn't come from Scorpio itself; it comes from Capricorn, which is the restricted sign, which is like measure your words, what you are saying.
Yes, and this passiveness and desire to, you know, put some kind of boundaries between, because we said 3rd house is how you contact with others on a daily basis, you know, the first contact with others. And it's not easy to get close to Scorpio, you know, they can push you away, they don't allow you, you know, it's forbidden area. And Capricorn in 3rd house explains why it is happening.
And also the dark humor, the dark sense of humor.
And the way of thinking, 3rd house is also related with the way of thinking. So Capricorn can make them very pessimistic, negative, and so on. But from a positive perspective, it's related with a very logical way of thinking, very practical way of thinking. And Scorpio are very good in science. They can, you know, structure the knowledge. And this is the positive side of Capricorn. And like everything else, you know, in astrology, we should remember that everything has a positive and negative side. So yeah, even the place where you have Scorpio or whatever it is that is difficult, there are also some kind of benefits from that.
Oh, and usually when you overcome the darker side of it or the more difficult, wow, the rewards are even better sometimes than when it comes to and you feel prouder with that.
For example, something interesting, again, you see how much we are talking about the Scorpio today on the full moon.
Exactly, full moon Scorpio,
but I feel it in a very positive way. I hope that others as well. So let's say for Capricorn, they have Leo in their 8th house. So we said that crisis and the most difficult challenges are related with 8th house. But it means that if you have Leo in your 8th house, it means that by going through these challenges and overcoming them, you can find yourself, you can find your true self. And actually, this can help you to grow as a person, which is Leo. You know, Leo is the inner sense and, you know, the most private thing that we have, really the essence of the person. So by going through these challenges and crises, actually you can find yourself. And the
Lots of
outcome
strength.
can be, yeah, the outcome can be very positive. You can realize how strong you are, how much you can handle with everything.
So basically,
So,
the so famous non-Capricorn toughness comes from their ability to cope with difficulties and big crises in life, which is the eighth house, in a very Leo manner, which is in a dignified manner, in a strong manner. Leo is
yes,
strength as well, shining your power. Look,
yeah,
guys, how insightful is that, huh?
yeah, incredible.
I love this theme, and I think, you know, this book can be so helpful. And once you learn the meaning of each sign, and you don't need to remember all those things by heart. You just think, okay, where Leo is, I can shine there, and I can get joy out of life there. So you ask someone, so when are you born? And they say, well, I'm a Cancer, and the Leo is in the second house. And you think, oh, joy comes to you through the assets that you have, and that's why maybe
Food,
food, exactly. That's why Cancer
material
also.
things. Yeah, Cancer are actually very material.
Oh
They
yes,
want
they need
everything,
their security.
resources, and
And
yeah,
they enjoy
Leo.
it a lot with the Leo, and the strength, the ability to feel joyful comes there. So you can immediately analyze, and you can say, oh, you as a Cancer have problems with relationships, though. Immediately you can say,
Absolutely.
and every Cancer will say, absolutely.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
But you can be lucky in your, say, when you're Cancer, in your sixth house of work or whatever.
Yeah. When you help others, you will feel
When you help others.
successful. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. I mean, like, we can talk for hours and go through all signs, but we have like an hour here only, and I just wanted you to
Yeah.
present those basic ideas so people start, even if you guys don't get the book, you can just start logically thinking about what is your ascendant and sun sign, and what are the next signs after it, and how do they affect you, just by knowing the 12 houses and the meaning of each sign. And
Yeah.
that can show you why some people, why different ascendant sign and sun signs have similar themes happening in their life. Why, and for example, you can also see, let's give an example, let's say which sign we haven't talked to. Sagittarius, we haven't talked about much. And Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter also rules the fourth house of Sagittarius, which is Pisces.
Mhm.
So this theme is combined for Sagittarius, the first and the fourth house. So for Gemini, or for Virgo, for example, their 10th house, Mercury, rules also
Yeah.
the first house. So the theme of career becomes very much connected with their self-identity, the first house. And this is also, you can see when a house is ruled by the same planet. That's why Virgos are so, you know, into their work, into their career as well. And that's why Sagittarius might be quite good with family as well, even though they're not the ones to be tied down and to be, they can be, you know, ones that are great parents, for example, and their self-identity is very strongly comes from there. Or for Aries, the eighth house and the first house are ruled by Mars. And
Yeah.
often Aries would go into life crisis and would initiate such big, totally, sometimes even self-destructive habits they would have, but they would initiate things that totally topple their life around and change everything around, because the first and the eighth house of transformations and what is your identity and your approach to life is this ruled by the same planet. But anyway, this is so interesting, the meta horoscope, as we call it, the derived sign, like each sign and each person born under a sign, and we look at the sun and the moon, at the sun and the ascendant, basically. You can see patterns in their life and what the best approach to something is. But which one should we look more at, the ascendant sign or the sun sign? What if I have ascendant sign in Virgo and sun sign in Pisces? Everything will be upside down, the opposite.
My case is that I have a Cancer ascendant and Capricorn sun.
So how do you?
Well, it both works, really. Maybe the ascendant a little bit more on a practical material level, because if it's about your sun, it can be more on a psychological level. But if you want to see concrete circumstances in life, it's more about the ascendant. But of course, both should be analyzed. They both work.
So if Aquarius wants to make more money, Aquarius ascendant, how should they do it practically? Through Pisces.
Oh, that's complicated. Well, again, they should rely more on their intuition. And, you know, Pisces sometimes can be a very lazy sign, but on the other hand, sometimes you can receive something that you haven't expected there, and you haven't put a lot of efforts, because this sign is ruled by Jupiter, and we know that Jupiter is the planet of, you know, it's the old ruler of Pisces, with abundance, opportunities, luck, and so on. So
sometimes
Aquarius,
like a magical way things happen, whatever Pisces.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're sitting there and whatever the river drags to you, and you're going down the stream with the river. So whatever you have Pisces, guys, if you're Aquarius ascendant, you have Pisces in the second house. So you just go down the down with the flow of the river, and the river will drag you whatever you need from time. If you trust the process and don't resist it, basically.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And it shows, second house shows us also the energy of the person. So Pisces, for example, let's say about Aries. So, and actually for all of the fire signs, they have earth signs in second house. So that's why we know fire signs, they're so dynamic, start different things. But the truth is that they don't have a strong energy. They can get exhausted at some level. They need to recharge. And the earth sign in second house means that it doesn't happen very fast. So that's why very often people with lots of fire energy, you know, they can put a lot of efforts in something, but after that they can exhaust themselves, and it takes time to, yeah, exactly, burnout. This is so popular nowadays. That's so much related with fire signs because they have earth signs in second house. So for example, with Aries, yeah, they're so dynamic. They want to do everything on the second, but they have Taurus in second house. And we said Taurus fixed earth sign. So it's so slow. Everything requires lots of time, and, you know, you are so grounded there.
To start manifesting materially, basically.
Yeah, that's why you need time to recharge. If you're an Aries, you need time to recharge your energy, you know, to collect new energy. So even this can be, but second house can show us also how we can increase our energy, which on the other hand, we know that we can lead to improvement in our finances, because we talk that money is energy. So if you improve your physical energy, it affects, you know, everything material as well. So for example, Aries who have Taurus in second house, nature can help them to recharge. They need to be grounded. For example, walking without your feet on the ground, or just going in the mountain, in the forest, you know, connecting with nature.
Absolutely.
It recharges you.
And eating maybe grounding fruits, vegetables, like root vegetables, because second house is the food, and more grounding like wheat, and I don't know, something like solid.
Yeah. For example, with Aquarius, they have Pisces. That's why for them sleep is so important. You know, this is the time when you are connecting with different levels. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter what exactly is happening. The thing is that we are not in this reality. And Pisces is everything beyond the reality. So sleeping is so important, or meditating, or some kind of spiritual practices. They recharge Aquarius.
Well, I'm Aquarius ascendant. If I don't sleep 10 hours, I'm like a zombie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't do the meditation, but obviously that's amazing. So if you want more energy, guys, look at the second sign from your ascendant and from your sun to see what practices and activities basically will bring that to you. And where there's more energy, there is more money as well. There is more abundance that flows as well. That's why it was second house of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Marina. This is, I love it. We can talk about each sign, but that's the purpose of the courses and the purpose of the book as well. And by the way, whoever gets the book or the course will get to the secret room. We've created a secret private group with Marina that will discuss about the 12 signs, the meta qualities of the 12 signs, and once a week, maybe on Saturdays, we'll come into a live show there for everyone who purchases this course basically and the book. And you can ask questions there, but it's private secret group, so it's only for selected. And we can answer questions on those matters, and we'll soon make another interview with Marina where you can ask questions, Q&A, astrological. We'll choose questions and answers, because look how knowledgeable she is. I love her. And we'll have Marina more often here on the show. But don't forget this amazing book, The 12 Faces of the Zodiac Signs, and also my course, the 12 Signs Foundational Course. You know, they're different perspective from different astrologers, but you can learn so much. Even I learned so much now just listening to Marina. And if you can't afford the whole course, which is $200, you can afford the book, which is $20. So thank you so much, Marina. You always find such interesting topics to talk about with you.
There is a synchrony, as I said.
Absolutely. And you can check out Marina's services, guys. As you can see, she's a great astrologer. From Astrolada, I've put a link below the video, so you can click to check her services. And we often make promotions. And Marina often makes promotions of different services. So yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone, guys. Sorry we couldn't look at the chat. I promised I'll show the baby, but he's just falling asleep now. Baby, do you want to bring? Is he awake? Okay. For those of you who are patient enough, because a few people asked me in the chat, show us the baby. Little Scorpio, ascendant Scorpio, moon, Aries, sun. He gets so red, guys. He's ruled by Mars on the ascendant, on the moon, and the sun. He gets red as a radish whenever he's upset. Hello. Hello. Hi, Kyla. Says hi to everyone. Go get red, my love. Get red to show them your Aries side. But yeah, this is baby Kyler. Hi, everyone. Hi, Marina.
Hi.
And I'll give him back now. He's shy. He doesn't want to be on the public eye. But oh yeah. And he'll have cutting words, I'm sure, what we talked about. But yeah, so thank you, everyone. Kisses. And yeah, looking forward to see what we learn on this secret group. Thank you, Marina. Bye-bye.
Bye.